We could also use Drowning the Loch to kill the Watcher once it comes out of its little bubble, but in all honesty, I want the Teferi to survive just so we can get closer to getting that land. So if we don't draw one here, I can always plus up with the Teferi and see if we get one there, right? Basically have another chance at seeing. And you gotta remember, you're playing to win here. You're not playing for turn 50. If I can draw a land, I can win the game, so... Alright, no counter spells. Fingers crossed. What's up, everybody? My name's Shan. Today we're taking a look at a Dimir combo deck, and this is rotation proof, which is beautiful to say and even more beautiful for you to hear, right? Because that means that this deck is completely foolproof. Will not be losing it here in a couple months when the next set drops, which is beautiful, right? Beautiful. Now, this is based off of a combo that we did previously on the channel, but people seem to love it. So I figured, why not take the combo back? And this time, instead of making it mono black, we're going to turn it into a Dimir deck and feature another new card that comes from M21, Teferi's Tutelage. So the main combo here is Peer into the Abyss, Nyx Lotus, and Underworld Dreams. So basically, you get down Underworld Dreams, 3 devotion to black, right? And it reads, whenever an opponent draws a card, Underworld Dreams deals 1 damage to that player. Nyx Lotus reads, it enters the battlefield tap. Whenever it untaps, you get to tap it, choose a color, add an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. So, you know, we get down Underworld Dreams, we tap Nyx Lotus, it gives us 3 extra mana. We'll have had to have had 4 mana to get down Nyx Lotus, so now we have 7 mana total, excuse me. And, well, you guessed it, Peer into the Abyss costs 7 mana. So, that's the main combo here that we did in the previous video. If you're interested, I'll leave a little thing somewhere, I'm sure. I don't know. Anyways, so super fun, but there's another way you can win. You don't always need Underworld Dreams, right? Teferi's Tutelage actually also works. So 3 mana whenever Teferi's Tutelage enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. So that's nice. You're getting a little bit of a loot effect. Furthermore, whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. So this is going to be on your opponent. There is a little hiccup here. Teferi's Tutelage reads, whenever you draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards. So if your opponent has some kind of protection from this card in specific, which they can do with Runed Halo and other things, then it won't work. Or if they have hexproof, right? Because this card has to be able to target them. Whereas Underworld Dream just says that the opponent takes damage. No targeting there, which is why it's nice and will, for the most part, always deal damage. Again, they can put down a Runed Halo and then name Underworld Dreams, and they won't take any damage, which is kind of nice for them, but bad for us. Anyways, Teferi's Tutelage, what you're going to do, instead of selecting yourself with Peer into the Abyss, or instead of selecting them with Peer into the Abyss, you're going to select yourself, because then you're going to draw all those cards, and then your opponent is going to mill, you know, however many cards you draw. It won't be a full 30, but you know, it'll be enough to proc Teferi's Tutelage. You multiply it by 2 and you'll deck your opponent, which is really nice. But the the cool thing about pulling this into Dimir is then we get access to things like Ashiok, Teferi, Brazen Borrower, Shark Typhoon, right? All these really, really awesome cards that, again, aren't rotating out. So anyways, diving into the full deck now, we have 3 copies of Agonizing Remorse to keep your opponent's key cards pretty much in exile, right? 2 mana, you're going to lose 1 life. It's not a huge deal. You're removing a huge threat that's probably going to get you, you know, taking down more than 1 life in the future anyways. Next up, we have Heartless Act, 3 copies, and again, you'll see that this is a very controlling deck because all you really need to do is get down one of these 2 cards, Teferi's Tutelage or Underworld Dreams, Nyx Lotus, and then you Peer into the Abyss, or you don't really need your Nyx Lotus to get Peer into the Abyss. It just sort of helps, right? So you'll notice down here in the bottom end, we have a lot of removal, and that's for a good reason. So Heartless Act, destroy target creature with no counters, or remove up to 3 counters from target creature. It's pretty good. Drowning the Loch, I'm a personal favorite of this. I don't know how to say that, but I really like the card personally. It is rotation proof. I can't think of the other Dimir card that's going to be rotating out that people like to use. Tyrant Scorn, I think is what it is. But that is a good one. This one I think is also still very fair. Unfortunately, Agonizing Remorse puts things into exile, doesn't put them into the graveyard, so these two don't work too great together, but you could do other discard cards like Duress or whatever, and we'll talk about that later in the deck tech wrap-up. By the way, shout out to myself, watch all the way to the end. So we do have Brazen Borrower, as I mentioned earlier. We have Grim Tutor to help us find whatever piece of the combo we don't already have, and I know I only have one copy of Grim Tutor, that's because I only have one copy of Grim Tutor. So we do have 3 copies of Brazen Borrower. I know it's a little hard to see the times 3 right there, so it's more than just 1 copy. But anyways, Murderous Rider, 3 copies of destroy target creature planeswalker. You get a life linker down. It's just a solid body. Not to mention the fact that we have Pestilent Haze, 3 mana, choose 1, all creatures get -2/-2, which our Murderous Rider will survive through, or remove 2 loyalty counters from each planeswalker. You know, I got to looking, there's not a whole lot of board wipe in mono black colors or even in Dimir colors come rotation time. I'm interested to see what Zendikar Rising has in store for us, but yeah, Pestilent Haze is one of the best cards. It's only an uncommon, so pretty good all around. And you'll notice that a lot of the aggro decks nowadays, mono red and all of this and that of the sort, they have very low creatures. The life gaining decks, they have very low creatures to a point, you know, so you just hit them early, wipe their board, and then keep the bigger creatures, the more important ones, down with Heartless Act, with Agonizing Remorse, Crown of the Lochs, those things, right? Underworld Dreams, we do have 4 copies of it. Teferi, Master of Time, is beautiful because it allows you to draw cards and, you know, loot through, find your combo, essentially, while also allowing you to phase out your opponent's creatures, which can help, well, keep you alive longer. This is also a very, how do I say this, aggro card, meaning whenever you play it, your opponent is going to want to remove this card almost immediately, because Teferi, Master of Time, can proc on your turn and on their turn, so you're just constantly drawing and discarding until you find your combo, which is, well, very bad news for them, right? Nyx Lotus is based off Devotion, so things like Murderous Rider, Brazen Borrower, Teferi's Tutelage, you know, all that's going to help build it. Your main thing is Underworld Dreams, but Teferi's Tutelage will, you know, give you 1 extra mana with it, which is okay. But that's why we have things like Murderous Rider in here as well to help boost up our Devotion. And if you want to go more into Devotion, I don't blame you, really, I don't. I think Devotion is super fun and yada yada yada. But your Planeswalkers also add to your Devotion, so there's that. Anyways, Ashiok Nightmare Muse, another very controlling card that allows you to get down more creatures. This deck's kind of lacking in creatures, but thanks to Ashiok and your Shark Typhoon, you kind of get these pseudo token creatures, right? So pretty good there, and if you get the -7 and you're allowed to play your opponent's cards that you've been exiling, cool beans, right? Cool freaking beans. Shark Typhoon, we just talked about, allows you to get sharks, and if you don't get the sharks, you at least get the 1 shark and you get to draw a card, so again, you're getting closer to your combo. And then last but not least, we have Peer into the Abyss. Target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life, round up each time. So pretty much you're going to be trying to play this once you have your Teferi's Tutelage or Underworld Dreams down. Nyx Lotus, like I said, does help. If you don't have Nyx Lotus, if you don't have 4 copies, don't worry about it, okay? Another great route for this, if you don't have Nyx Lotus, shout out, by the way, if you don't, take all these out, -4, you're down to 57 cards, whatever. You can actually rebuild this deck instead of being focused on Devotion to focus it into Soul Tie colors and go for a little bit of ramp, right? Throw in Cultivate, that helps you hit your 3 mono black colors that you need for Peer into the Abyss. And Underworld Dreams, of course. Throw in Paradise Druid, right? Because she allows you to, again, adapt your mana to what you need here and here. And there's a lot of, you know, Beanstalk Shine. I can go on for days. Soul Tie is a great route to go if you don't have Nyx Lotus. Okay, and I should have mentioned that in the previous video, but I didn't. But here I am saying it now. Soul Tie, great way to do this combo if you don't have the Nyx Lotus, but you still really want to do this. And the reason I say you need the ramp is because Peer into the Abyss is 7 mana. So you either need to go one of 2 routes with that, and that is 1, ramp into it, right? Get it down early, turn 5 if you can. Or 2, be so controlling that, you know, you can get up to 7 mana and not have lost the game yet. And that's kind of what this deck does, but the Nyx Lotus does help us to get this combo off on turn 5, which is bonkers early, right? Turn 5 Insta-Kill with Underworld Dreams, Nyx Lotus, and Peer into the Abyss is really great. And the fact that it's rotation proof, meaning, you know, you protect this. This is a solid combo And again, your opponent can like read it as soon as they see the Underworld Dreams. They're like, okay, I'll counter the Nyx Lotus or peer into the abyss. If that starts happening to you, all you have to do is slot in a few counter spells yourself. But again, we'll get into all that in the deck tech wrap up. We've gone through all the cards. Again, sadly, the Shocklands, they're leaving us, but we still have the temples. Dismal Backwater is really good if you need some extra, you know, split lands, which you will with Peer into the Abyss. Castle Lochwing will help you draw, as well as Castle Vantress if you have them. So that's going to do it for the deck tech wrap up, or the deck tech breakdown, whatever. It was a long one. I do apologize. Also, hi, I am back. You know, we'll slowly get into the details of the trip as we go. I need to make an official post. But thanks, everybody, and I'll see you in the wrap up. Felipe Osa? Felipe Paso? You know what? This is very greedy. Very, very, very greedy. I'm gonna go ahead and play the Scry land and go looking for more land. Yeah, I like the new board, but I'm actually gonna keep that because with Fabled Passage we can hit all of our black mana we need for that, and then we just need the Lotus and we got them, right? Goose. A little loose goose. I like it. Alright, so we leave the Brazen Bar for instant speed madness. Golgari, Trail of Crumbs. Interesting. There's nothing I really want to do here. We might just cycle the Shark Typhoon, actually. Because again, we're just looking for the Nyx Lotus at this point, right? Nyx Lotus plus another land. Yikes. Castle Vantress is nice. It at least means when we hit our Nyx Lotus, we'll have enough to do what we're trying to do. Alright. Forget how much of a headache being in front of that light and being under that light causes me. Oh my bad. No, you're good. You didn't know, so you know it's not on you. Alright, let's see. Trail of Crumbs. Mayhem Devil. Why are you in the regular playing with this Jund nonsense? We're gonna bounce the Trail of Crumbs. Went back and forth and back and forth. But no matter what I do, they can activate it at instant speed. So it's unfortunate, but they're gonna get it off regardless. What do you think they take here? Underworld Dreams? I most certainly would. I mean, that's the combo. You better take the Underworld Dreams. Mm-hmm. There you go. Oh, it must be my birthday. It's not actually my birthday, but it's a nice sentiment, right? Any hoosers. Jund sacrifice with a touch of hand hate. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've been back. You know how long we've been playing now. Well, under an hour. About an hour. I haven't seen anything new or interesting. Like, I come back and everyone's still playing the same stuff. It's not even rotation-proof stuff. You know, it just makes me curious. Curious as to where the world is, where magic is in the world. Is there any clicky stuff on this board? Y'all know how I love clicky stuff. No? Seriously? Well, I don't like that. I'd rather there be an interactive board that I can click on than this constant pull on my computer for seemingly no reason other than to say, hey, look at what we have. But there's no need to get into here or there's of that. Yeah, I mean, I like the Teferi. I think I'm gonna play the Teferi. Interesting. Interesting. I'm not getting rid of Peer into the Abyss. I'm not getting rid of Ashiok. I'm not getting rid of Murder Shredder. I guess I'm getting rid of the Brazen then, right? Balancing their stuff doesn't really do a whole lot for us because it's just sacrifice, so. Anyways, we can phase out one of their creatures if we so choose to with the Teferi. Standard is in a weird spot. Yeah, that would make sense. Historic's got a lot going on with Amonkhet, right? Alright, so we can't actually phase out Teferi here, otherwise he will die. So I think we just resolve it.
Oof, now wait just a minute.
And there's no way we could have phased out the Mayhem Devil before it came down, right? So, sort of the position we're in. Resolve. Resolve. Now, if they want to go on a little executing spree, we'll allow it. But I don't think they will. Yeah. That is another land, which puts us to the Ashiok. Do I get rid of the Peer into the Abyss? Surely not, right? I just get rid of Murders. What am I talking about? You're crazy. Show me the Nyx Lotus. Another land. Interesting. Well, Brazen Bar, again, we already talked about this, doesn't do too much for us up against their deck. I could go for a Heartless Act and remove their Mayhem Devil. That does remove a lot of their damage. But then that just leaves poor little Teferi down there to defend himself, which he can phase out the Woe Strider, but then it dies to the Paradise Druid. He could plus up and live if as long as I Heartless Act the Mayhem Devil. I think that's what we do. Now they can go sacrifice and stuff and aim for Teferi, right? They just sacrificed the devil. Interesting.
This used to be easier.
Alright, so we still have Brazen Bar that we can play down as well. They have enough force they can kill our Teferi, but I guess we just gotta kind of hope here. Scrying one to the bottom, you love to see that. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, interesting. I'm trying to wait to see if they use their Paradise Druid for mana, right? Because if they tap her, then I can phase out the Woe Strider and be fine, or I can just plus up the Teferi and be fine. Yeah, but either way, I'll be fine. But if they don't, then I got a problem. Alright, so use your Paradise Druid. Don't swing it. Use it. Use it. I think they thought about it. I think they thought, and they know they want to get rid of Teferi. Now, I can go ahead and phase out their creature, and I think I want to do that. Just phase out Woe Strider, right? We're still going to lose Teferi, but at least they lose their Woe Strider for a little bit as well. Yes, they still have the mana, but they have plenty of mana anyways, right? So, that'll be fine. Looks like I'm out of time. Yeah, I'd have to say so, Teferi. Alright, but this does allow us to start getting in some damage here and there with our Brazen. We got a 2/3 defender now. We're kind of close to just playing Peer into the Abyss with like 7 mana, you know? Boom, bam, no problemo. Sad Paradise Druid's getting rotated out. That was one of those cards that I didn't mind seeing every game, you know? It's like, oh, Paradise Druid, you're such a heartwarming card. Jumpstart was only a month ago, and now Amonkhet. Yeah, right. Felipe Osa. I don't know. We're picking up the victory, and that's all I really care about. Tolarian Philosopher. Interesting. A man of philosophy, or a woman. Either which way, I can get behind that. Oh, goodness. I think I do want to go ahead and still go for that turn 3 Underworld Dreams, you know? I see the combo. It's so hard for me to not just beeline it for it. Now, that would give us the Underworld Dreams. This just makes more sense for me. Right? Wipe that board. Get rid of those Azorius Flyers. Now they have 2 cards in their graveyard. Well, it's a little bit of a shit. Yeah, Brazen's still good. It's not exactly what I want, but it's still pretty good. It's good enough to keep, right? Now we do have Drown in the Loch, but it would require them to not play anything too spicy. I'm just going to be getting in for some damage. Very Miscreant. Now we could Drown and Loch that, but that just feels bad. Yeah, they still got something else there. Let's gain some health, shall we? Now, do I want to go for Teferi? They can deal. I can deal 3 to them. Or if I go for Brazen, we also have Drown and Loch. I have 2 cards in graveyard. Could just bounce that, make them replay it. Alright. I think we're just gonna keep mana up for Brazen plus Drown. Never mind. We'll just use Brazen right here. Nice. I was actually expecting that to get countered a little bit with the Lofty Denial, given how many flyers we've seen. But this is fine. Basically make them repay the 3. Oh, beautiful. We're going to end up getting enough land. We can just play the Underworld Dreams and then play Peer into the Abyss. Am I right? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Holy jeez. That's a lot, Batman. That's a lot. Alright. So yeah, we just need another land and we're good. We got the Philosopher. Boom, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I don't think we're actually going to block with Brave. Oh, we could. We just block here, right? I don't see why not. We're basically just trying to protect our faces until we can get Peer into the Abyss to go off, so. Okay. Damn it, I just need a land. Oh, I can throw down Teferi and phase out Watcher. Yeah, and still have mana for Drown. That works.
It takes impressive
Alright,
knowledge
so
to be a temple.
draw here. Yikes. Put a stop there. Next, in turn. Phase that one out. Resolve. Take that stop off. And this way they just don't get cheaper birds, right? Or cheaper flying creatures in general. They gotta know that we have another Peer into the Abyss in our hand, given we have the Underworld Dreams, right? So if they have counter magic, they should surely be saving it. We could also use Drown in the Loch to kill the Watcher once it comes out of its little bubble, but in all honesty, I want the Teferi to survive just so we can get closer to getting that land. So if we don't draw one here, I can always plus up with the Teferi. Let's see if we get one there, right? Basically have another chance at seeing. And you gotta remember, you're playing to win here. You're not playing for turn 50. If I can draw a land, I can win the game, so. Alright, no counter spells. Fingers crossed. Nice. We did it. Tolarian philosopher, take that. They're just gonna concede, yeah. That makes sense, makes sense. GG, that was a good one. MK, gonna be our next foe, or MK. However you prefer to say it. I love this hand, like these cards. I hate these. These little 2 lands. Like, what am I gonna do with that? Nothing. Can't do nothing with that. So I am gonna keep this. We'll go for the Scry land first. I think I'll get rid of the Shark Typhoon. We'll have the Pestilent Haze for some board wipe and some Agonizing Remorse. It could go well for us. We'll see. Not that. That. Nah. Gotta have more land. Gotta have more land. Ah! We're gonna have to do this fast. Like, fast. Fuck, can't any of y'all just have normal decks? Y'all gonna be going hyphy as hell. Ugh, and it gives me the land, but not in the way that I need it. Alright, well, beggars can't be choosers. We have the combo. We literally just need one more land and a few turns and we can do it, but they're about to beanstalker the shit out of us. Or themselves, I guess. Maybe I should have taken Beanstalk Giant and just left him with the clovers. You know, I'll always question things like that. Alright, I need a land. I really need a land now. If you could be so kind, game, thank you. We'll get down that Nyx Lotus and then wham bam combo, thank you ma'am. Something like that. Elspeth's Nightmare doesn't do anything to us. Love Shark Beast doesn't do anything to us. Beautiful. Give me a land. Ah, aneurysm. Alright, so Drown on the Loch, destroy target creature for a mana cost equal to of the card in its controller's graveyard. That's what I was afraid of, you see? Because they don't have any cards in their graveyard. They will after that goes away, but it still won't be enough to kill that. Pestilent Haze, Pestilent Spirit doesn't do too much. Let's just throw down another Underworld Dreams, right? Just in case they have any enchantment removal. But man, I gotta say, I've never wanted a 4th land so fucking bad in my hand. If you don't take the Nyx Lotus, something's wrong with you, MK. I'm gonna be so salty if I lose. Opponent's basically handing me this shit. Kyubo? Might be saying that right, I might not. We'll keep it, because I don't like scrying in this game. There's one thing I've learned about Magic. We don't like to scry around here. I'm actually going to go ahead and get down the Castle Lochthwain first in hopes that we can get that Underworld Dream rockin' rollin'. Grateful Apparition. So they're going to be coming at us very hard, very quickly, very soon. That's our combo, that, and that, but we still need 1 land specifically. Fuck, you don't turn down the 3-piece combo. Now all we need is 1 land. Surely to God, we won't lose 2 games in a row because of 1 land, right? Right. Like, almost no way, Jose. Almost. Alrighty, just need a black land, please, and thank you, Conclave Mentor. I was expecting to see you sooner or later. Alright, so in this situation, when you get the mana at the same point as what you have the Lotus and the Underworld Dreams, play the Lotus first. Yes, the Underworld Dreams will deal 1 point of damage when your opponent draws 1 card, like, woo, but when you go to play the Underworld Dreams here, then you essentially still have 4 mana, right? So you can go through and play your other stuff as well. So we have the 2 here for that. I think I am going to tap that. And Agonizing Remorse. Yikes. Let's see, permanence gain. Well, they have 2 of them. We're looking at a 3 mana card that they might cast. I'm not seeing it. I guess that. I don't know. Hell. So yeah, we went ahead and bounced the Conclave Mentor. That way they couldn't cast the Heroic Intervention on. Okay, well. GG! Kyubo. Alrighty, you made it all the way through the breakdown, the gameplay, and you hear in the wrap-up, the sweet, blissful wrap-up at the end. Honestly, one of my favorite parts of the video since I've started doing the wrap-up. I really love this part where I get to go in and say, hey, here's all the cards that I've thought about playing as well. Because these are some of the cards that, like, I couldn't skate by with playing, but that doesn't mean that I'll never throw them in and go play them, by myself, because that's just what I do sometimes. Anyways, thank you if you've watched this far, first and foremost. Give yourself a pat on the back, a cookie, whatever your reward system is. Go go give yourself a reward, because honestly, you're awesome for that. And then smash a like on this video, because thank you, right? If you watched all the way through, you should leave a like. That's just courtesy. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns about this video, future videos, past videos. Subscribe if you want to see more, and smash that bell icon, because YouTube goes crazy when you do. Trust me, they do. And then furthermore, if you want to see us play these decks live, hop over to twitch.tv/DrSpillikin and, you know, toss a follow, because we're live at random times. So I may pop up when you're awake, and I may not. We'll see. And then last but not least, down in the description, there's a Discord link. I highly encourage you, go click it. Now, on into the deck tech. Wrap up these extra cards over here that you can throw in and make this deck better, more fun, more suited to you, right? So Unsummon is a really good card. It's 1 mana, instant speed. Return target creature to its owner's hands. This can balance your adventure cards, Brazen Borrower, Murder Strider, to where you can then reuse their adventure spell and then replay them down, which is obviously good value for 1 mana. Or, you know, you bounce out your opponent's creature that has enchantments on it, or that's just a really big creature that costs a lot. You know, you slow them down, you tempo them out, because again, you're just trying to get to your peer into the abyss. You get this bad boy off and you win, right? Moving us down, I'd mentioned this in the deck tech breakdown actually. Duress works well with drowning the Loch, works well with taking out your opponent's, you know, counter spells and this and that. That's going to mess with your plans, right? So really good card, and it's only common, so it's very cheap. Lofty Denial, if you're into counter spells and all that kind of stuff, you can throw this card in, and if you do, I kind of recommend going for more flyers. You do have Brazen Borrower, you do have Shark Typhoon to pseudo give you flyers, but you may want to throw in 1 or 2 more. Like Spectral Sailor is a really good one. Okay, it didn't make it into this cut because I can only have 15 cards, and you know, I've tried to start limiting myself. Anyways, Lofty Denial is really good. It's only a common, instant speed. It makes your opponent have to pay 1 unless you have a flyer, and then have to pay 4, which is why I say I recommend getting those flyers in, right? But if you don't want to go for the flyers, Mystical Dispute is a really good one as well. Uncommon. Spell cost 2 less if it's targeting a blue spell, which generally if your opponent's trying to target your spells with counter spells, they're blue spells, so yeah. Elspeth's Nightmare, not a great source of removal because it's 3 mana to destroy a target creature with power 2 or less, which isn't great, but it is still removal. You still get to pull a card from your opponent's hand, and it exiles your opponent's graveyard, which may be the best piece, because even though Cat's gone, Euro is still lurking about, right? So Elspeth's Nightmare, it's pretty alright. Going for the mutate route, honestly not a bad idea. A lot of the mutators sorry, I can't say mutators and not laugh, right? A lot of the mutators, like Dirge Batch or whatever you want to call it, have good devotion costs, so it actually works well with the Nyx Lotus as well. Not to mention the fact that if you don't have Nyx Lotus, mutate is a great way to ramp, right? The Migratory Greathorn is only, I believe, a common, and it's rotation proof, and it turns your small things into 3/4s, so really nice. Really nice. Also, this gives you the ability to destroy target creature or planeswalker, so it gives you that control aspect while giving you a creature that has flash and flying. It's just great value. If you have the card, toss it in there. Rankle is another really good one because it can make your opponent sacrifice creatures. Yes, you have to sacrifice 1 as well, but if you have something down like Shark Typhoon, or you have your Ashiok making tokens, it's really not that bad for you. Not to mention the fact that it allows you to draw a card while making your opponent draw a card, which is great for Underworld Dreams and various village and that kind of stuff. Also, you make your opponent discard a card, which again is great. So all in all, Rankle is pretty good. 3/3 flying haste for 4 mana. You can't beat that value, really. I mean, you can, but you get what I'm saying. Atreus, Oracle of Half-Truths, another really great card that'll allow you to sort of draw cards into your hand, right? Give you more options at getting your combo, and you got to be careful because people, once they see your combo, they may, you know, try to play mind games with you and put your other combo pieces face down or whatever. So be wise, but it is also a 3/2 with Menace, which means it packs a little bit of a punch. Massacre Worm, like I said, there's not a whole lot of board wipe. There's not a whole lot of board wipes so far, at least in this post-rotation that we're seeing. So if you want a little bit more board sweepy presence, Massacre Worm is actually pretty decent. You know, it's a 6/5 for 6 mana. It really helps with Nyx Lotus. -2 on all your opponent's creatures, and whenever a creature your opponent controls dies, they lose 2 lives, so it kind of helps you whittle your opponent down a little bit faster if you don't have 4 copies of Peer into the Abyss or whatever. You know, maybe you have like 2 copies of Peer into the Abyss and 2 copies of Massacre Worm. I don't know. Loch Serpent, another really awesome card and a really big creature that can help defend your face and can go to the face pretty easily. So 6 mana for a 7/7 with flash, that already is like bonkers good. Not to mention the fact that for 1 blue mana plus sacrificing an island, which oftentimes you'll tap an island for the blue mana and you'll sacrifice the land you tap, right? This creature can't be blocked this turn, so you can get free 7 points of damage in on your opponent, which means if you're not hitting your Peer into the Abyss and you just managed to have, you know, an Underworld Dreams sort of ticking them down here and there, and you swung in maybe once or twice with a Brazen Borrower, you can actually you can finish them off just with the Lochmere. Play it down flash speed, your opponent doesn't counter it, they're all tapped out on mana or whatever, you play it during their turn, sacrifice an island on your turn, can't be blocked, boom, to the face, 7 damage. Furthermore, you can sacrifice a swamp, gain a life, draw a card, again helps you find your combo, and then for 2 mana you can exile 5 cards from an opponent's graveyard, really great again against those escape cards, and then return Loch Serpent from your graveyard to your hand. So again, it's hard to get rid of this card. Next up, we have Overflowing Insight, and in case you didn't know, I didn't actually know until I came back, and y'all know I always tell you that I comb through the cards. I literally sit there and look through the cards left to right, top to down, you know, like comb through all of them. So I realized that there were some actual new like booster cards that I didn't see a notification for in an update anywhere or whatever. If you want to read them all condensed, because you can't actually search for them here on Arena for some reason, you can go to Scryfall. It's a great website. It's where I do a lot of my like brewing for the new sets, the pre-releases, right? Scryfall, awesome site. But you can go find and search for just these cards there. So a lot of new cards got added. You'll already have some because they just gave them away for free, which is really nice. Anyways, Overflowing Insight, 7 mana, target player draws 7 cards. This one is one of those fun cards, right? So for 7 mana, and obviously if you have Nyx Lotus and you want to go more into blue devotion, this is kind of where you're going to be sitting, right? Target player draws 7 cards. You can select yourself and find your combo pieces. You can select your opponent and deal damage with Underworld Dreams, or, you know, really mill the hell out of them. Or, you know, select yourself and mill the hell out of them. Either way, it's a very fun card, right? And since everybody sort of just got given it, there you go. You don't need Peer into the Abyss necessarily. It is still 7 mana, you know. This one everybody has now. It's not, you know, you're not drawing 20 cards like Peer into the Abyss, but it does allow you to play the combo and deal damage. You know, 7 damage with Underworld Dreams, not bad. You have 2 of them down, 14 damage, not bad at all. Anyways, last but not least, another fun one, the Magic Mirror. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard. Well, we're playing a whole lot of those because we're kind of a control deck, right? So it's going to cost, you know, cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. It adds to the devotion for Nyx Lotus, which is really awesome, and it works with Overflowing Insight, which is really awesome. Furthermore, it allows you to have no maximum hand size, which is great. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, put a knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror, then draw a card for each knowledge counter on the Magic Mirror. So basically, you put a counter on it, you draw a card, you put another counter on it, now it has 2 counters, you draw 2 cards, put another counter on it, has 3, you draw 3, and so on and so forth, right? Which obviously works pretty well with Teferi's Tutelage. So, and finding your combo pieces. Anyways, that's going to do it for the Deck Tech wrap up. I know, another long one, I'm sorry. There was just a lot of information here. So, thanks everybody for watching. Again, like, comment, subscribe, all that awesome stuff. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for being supporters. We're on our way to 10,000. Can y'all believe it? We're almost there. That's kind of crazy. Anyways, I'll see y'all either later tonight or tomorrow. Peace.